Hello, this is Dragon334K here with a quick review on the Netflix crossover event Baki versus Kengan. This is definitely a crossover that I wanted to see ever since, both shows came to Netflix. And the question was always who would win in a fight between Baki Hanma and Oma Takita. And let's see. Okay, these are spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. Go check it out. Then you can come back and watch my review. Yeah, the I knew that there was gonna be no real winner decided. I mean, which one of these franchises would have wanted their signature fighter, walk away with a defeat? But yeah, here's some of the takeaways that I got from it. Then we're gonna get to the fights. First of all, they use Baki style animation. I mean, if you watch both shows on Netflix, they have two different styles of animation, but they went with the Baki animation instead of Kengan. Kengan might be a little bit more difficult to pull off, but probably for that reason, or in the sequel, they'll probably use Kengan style animation next time. I mean, but they did set it up for a sequel. I mean, there's not a lot of exhibition, seeing that the special was just over an hour. Didn't leave much room for anything else besides the action, and that's kind of what I appreciated about this. The time that this impromptu fight, this impromptu crossover. The time period seems to take place after the pickle arc, because you see Kasumi with one arm and you see Retsu Kyle with one leg. So yeah, it's safe to assume that it takes place sometime after the pickle arc. I can't tell if it, took place after the father-son fight between Yujiro and Baki, which by the way is very good. I did appreciate them getting quickly to the action. A lot of people complained that the Baki characters were nerfed to accommodate the power scaling between both shows, because let's face it, if they were to use their true power scaling from their respective mangas, animes, then Baki, I'm pretty sure the Baki characters would wipe the floor with the Kengan characters. I mean, especially with Yujiro being as, OP as he is. Let me see what else. The Baki Underground tournament and the Kengan Association tournament actually are tied in together with this story. You find out that a predecessor of Tokagawa, the short bald guy who runs the underground tournament for Baki, one of his predecessors started the Kengan Association tournament. So that was a pretty cool thing to actually learn, that Baki and Kengan are in the same universe. I mean, they just did it for the crossover, but this pretty much, I guess, as far as next Netflix landscape, they're in the same universe. Let me see. And the other characters being used, because of course you couldn't have a ton of Baki characters fighting a ton of Kengan characters, so they figured some really cool ways to figure in some of the other fighters that are that are more of the supporting characters, like Biscuit Oliver and the guys on the Kengan side that I don't know too many of their names, but I know them when I see them. So the fights themselves. The first fight was Sao Payne versus Hanayama. I suspected that they would give the victory to Hanayama, and they did. Although I was wondering why they didn't have him fight Hanayama versus fake Hanayama from the first episode of King and Ashura from season 1 on Netflix. But it turned out to be a pretty good fight. Their styles complemented each other, but he did your boy dirty with that forearm grip that Hanayama did. But the winner was Hanayama, and then you had Jack Hanma versus Ryan Kure. Of course, Ryan used his removal technique to defeat Jack. You know, a lot of people thought that was bull, basically, yeah, because everybody's complaining about Baki characters being nerfed. And, you know, like I said, they didn't nerf Baki characters, they upped the strength of the Kengan characters so the fights would actually look like they're about something. Yeah, but they saying Jack getting choked by Ryan was absolute BS. What I believed was that the Baki people didn't mind Jack losing because Jack is a perpetual loser. I mean, he lost to Baki, he lost to Yujiro, he lost to Pickle. He's eventually, spoiler warning, going to lose to Matobe. Just, you know, Jack is just their jobber, you know, and they had him jobbed around. Now, with far as Oma and Baki, Oma and Baki was the best fight. It had to be the best fight. And even the characters themselves acknowledge how much they are alike. You know, like I said, like, it seemed like Kengan is sort of a knockoff of Baki. And I mean, I really don't know the history of the manga, which came, you know, trying to figure out which came first, Baki or Kengan. But Oma Takita and Baki Hama has many similarities. Both of them use their techniques and to counter their techniques. You know, with each other's styles was really they did the homework. And Oma with his demon style and Baki with the demon back, when they got to fighting, you know, it became more of a fight. The fight, however, was interrupted by the arrival of Yujiro Hanma and Kuroki the Devil Lance, who are by far the two strongest fighters in each franchise. But if they would have did the Yujiro versus the Kuroki, I don't think that Kuroki would have had any kind of chance, whether they upscaled the Kengan characters or not, against Yujiro. I mean, beating Yujiro just does not happen. It doesn't. You know, Baki didn't even really beat him. He just was on par with him. I mean, but yeah, man, like I said, like they did not want a clear winner between Baki and Oma. Probably gonna have a portion of the fan base complaining, we want a clear winner. And, you know, who knows what they'll do for the sequel, if they do a sequel. But it was set up for a sequel. And my thing is, it would be interesting to see them do the Kengan style animation for this, you know, for whatever the sequel's going to be. Or if they decided to make it episodic, because I really thought it would be episodic because they're dealing with so many characters. But I thought they pulled it off pretty good. You know, they used the characters that, you know, kind of mattered. But the thing is, I want to see them animate the next arc for Baki. I think they finally did decide that they are going to do another season of Baki. And I believe they're going to get into old Miyamoto Musashi, and that's going to be bananas. And then I'm still waiting on King and Ashura to come back, you know, so we can see the fight animated between Oma and Kuroki the Devil Lance, because I'm really interested in seeing that. So anyway, yeah, Baki versus Kengan, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It didn't suck. Looking forward to seeing what they're doing next. So I definitely recommend it. This is Dragon 334K. Till the next video. Thanks for watching.